If they asked you to put up a sign that a black person couldn't come in here, would you do that too? Is that what you'd do, Lisa? Would you just follow the orders?
But you cannot disrupt the operations of our organization.
No, I'm not disrupting
You
anything.
you are disrupting it at
How
this
am I
time.
disrupting? I don't work at the pleasure of the superintendent. He works at the pleasure of the public.
Did you write down what you asked?
No, I'm not a dog, ma'am. I have questions to ask, ma'am.
That is correct.
That's
but
disrupting?
It is right now.
Okay, who do you think I am?
Thank you for everything that you do.
You're so welcome.
You are amazing.
You're so welcome. If you happen to be a magician, I'm looking for the records index and the published procedures manual for the school district.
Records
Please
request.
de-escalate. Okay, you're getting a little animated.
What is
Step back a
your
little bit,
description?
okay?
What is your description?
But I wouldn't want to transcribe that inaccurately.
Well, I mean, you're an educator. I would
I mean,
imagine you could probably write pretty well. What I'm
Provide
trying
a
to
phone number.
understand is
No,
where's the
we are filling out
published-
the form
Ma'am,
as the public records officer.
Ma'am.
This is a re-upload because an inside source at the Yelm School District informed me that Superintendent Woods personally contacted YouTube and asked that the embarrassing story be taken down. I just wonder what kind of incentive Superintendent Woods might have had for that. My news reaches a lot of people, after all. A story built on local parents coming forward, a story questioning Superintendent Woods after a vote of no confidence and ongoing concerns about transparency. Superintendent Woods then attacked the press and had it removed. That's the kind of tyrant Superintendent Woods is when he's in the hot seat. Let's call this for what it looks like, an abuse of process and power. But when public officials, or anyone acting in their interest, use those systems to make public interest reporting disappear, it raises a serious question. What are they trying to hide? Because nothing about this makes the community safer, more informed, or more confident in leadership. In fact, it does the opposite. Parents spoke up. Evidence was put on record, and instead of accountability, the response is suppression. That should alarm every single person in this district. Love or hate our reporting here at Inland Auditing Media, but if the press cannot report on a story about a conspiracy to remove that information, then we don't have a free press anymore. Superintendent Woods is already facing a crisis of confidence. Now, instead of addressing concerns head-on, the situation has escalated into something even more troubling, a fight over whether the public is even allowed to see the criticism in the first place. That's not transparency, that's not control, and the people of Yelm deserve better. Hype this video, like, share, and subscribe. Make this video be seen by even more people. It will also be shared in its entirety, again, unedited on X, to ensure that the news is not thwarted.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I just need to inspect the published procedures.
The what, sir?
The published procedures, and then the index.
For,
Records.
I guess I'm not understanding quite what you're asking.
Looking to inspect the procedures manual for records, and then the index.
Like the public, like our policies, our board policies?
Not your board policies, just the procedures manual. I mean, those may be a part of it. It's possible, certainly.
Okay, and what's your name?
Steve?
What's your last name, Steve?
I'd rather not give my last name. I'm good with Steve.
Where are you from?
Just can't really get into that right now either, but...
And if you're recording, I don't consent to that, just to tell you.
Oh, it can't record in here?
None of the time.
Gotcha, okay. Do you know why that is?
I'm telling you, I don't consent to it. And
Oh, it's not like a school district thing. It's just
I
a
don't
you
know.
thing. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I just have to record what I'm doing now.
Well, we're asking you not to.
Sure, and I can appreciate that.
So, say one more time what you would like to see.
Yeah, looking to inspect the procedures manual and the records index.
I've got somebody coming out here in just a minute.
Sure, sounds good. Yeah, as far as the recording though, the state statutes are pretty clear on that. Totally can do that. There's no right to stop the recording. So,
Well, people's personal information are on that, so that isn't appropriate.
yeah,
So,
not really sure what to say about that, but
How can we help you?
just looking to inspect the procedures manual and the index.
Procedures for
Records.
records?
Yeah.
Like a records request?
Well, I'm not looking to make one yet. I got to inspect the procedures manual and the records index first. They're just tools meant to aid me in making a records request.
That's all online. All of our records requests procedures are online.
Yeah, I looked and it's missing a lot of what's statutorily required.
Well, there it is. Superintendent Woods making statements that simply do not align with reality. Almost as if there might be transparency issues. Perish the thought. You see, Superintendent Woods, I actually took the time to review the district's own materials and the requirements imposed by Washington law. When one does that thing called reading, a few problems become difficult to ignore. So let's take a short walk through them. First, the district's public records landing page does not prominently publish the procedures the law requires to be published, nor are those procedures posted at the district's central office in any visible way whatsoever. The statute requires that they be available. They are not. Violation. Second, there is no clear description of the district's central and field organization available to the public. Another basic disclosure requirement. The public is apparently expected to somehow prognosticate how the organization is structured or who actually does what. Violation. Third, critical documents, such as the student handbook, are scattered across multiple locations on the website rather than centralized in a way that allows the public to easily find the materials the legislature explicitly requires agencies to make accessible. The entire purpose of the statute is accessibility. This design does the exact opposite. Violation. Fourth, public use of school facilities, as another example, lacks a clearly centralized procedure. There is no obvious single location where a member of the public can easily find the procedure and submit a request. For example, a centralized online form in the policies and procedures. Instead, the information is buried within a facilities page with no meaningful cross-reference to the procedures manual. Violation. At this point, one begins to wonder whether anyone in the district's leadership team has actually read the statute that governs these requirements. Which brings us to HR Director Buckingham, who also serves as the district's public records officer. Given that role, one might reasonably assume the familiarity with the public disclosure laws of Washington state would be a prerequisite, yet the current state of the district's website suggests that either the law has not been read or its requirements have been treated as optional. Perhaps Superintendent Woods' closer oversight of the public records officer might be in order, and these examples are only the beginning. When a community ultimately delivers a 77% vote of no confidence, it rarely happens because everything is running smoothly. Sometimes it happens because people notice patterns like the ones above, and the leads from parents that brought me to the district anyways. But by all means, please continue explaining how everything is perfectly transparent and running smoothly.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking to. It has to be prominently displayed according to statute here.
Yeah.
So where's it prominently displayed at?
We'll get it for you.
Okay, thank you.
What's your name?
Steve,
Steve, what's your last name, Steve?
I'd really rather not give that.
Okay.
All right,
Sounds good.
thank you.
Sir, if you're still recording, I have asked you to not do so here.
Oh yeah, I'm working. I just really got to do it. So I can appreciate the request. I just can't honor it. By the way, do you got a business card for what you do here?
I do not.
You know, and what do you do here and who are you?
I work as a receptionist.
Okay, and what's your name? I just need to request some records regarding your work today. So can I get your name?
You can, do you want me to show you where to find those on the
Well,
computer?
I have to be specific though. So if I'm going to request records that you've produced today, I have to request them regarding you. So what's your name?
My name is Lisa.
Lisa. Okay. Are you the only Lisa here?
Sir, until we get this resolved and you are not recording any longer, I think that I will wait until they come back out.
So you're going to fail to identify?
Excuse me?
You're going to fail to identify?
If there's anything else I can do to help you with the records or anything, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah. Like I said, I got to get your name so I can specifically request records for Lisa, whatever your last name is, receptionist at Yelm Community Schools. Wow. Yeah, so tips and leads confirmed. Excuse me, ma'am, can I get your name and position here?
My name is Debbie.
Debbie, and what do you do here?
I'm the executive assistant for the superintendent.
Gotcha, okay. Also, what is Lisa's last name? Because I don't know who, there's multiple Lisas or Debbies or whatnot.
Sorry, we don't keep an index of records.
We find ourselves back to Superintendent Woods' claim the materials are online. You know, the two verbs from RCW 425670 subsection 4A. If a local agency claims that maintaining the required public records index would be too burdensome, the agency must, quote, issue and publish a formal order specifying the reasons. Now, this is where our discussion becomes educational. You know, those two transitive verbs that I just mentioned, those are verbs that require an object, Superintendent, namely the order itself in this case, and they require the agency to actually do something with it. Issue, publish. Issue, publish. Let's say it all together now, class. Issue, publish. There you go. Not imagine, not assume, not declare during a conversation and hope nobody checks. Issue means the agency formally adopts the order. Publish means the public can actually find it. Yet the formal order is nowhere to be found. Puzzle me that. Not on the public records page, not in the policy section, not linked anywhere a reasonable human being might expect to find something that the legislature explicitly said must be published. Issue, publish. Which raises the obvious question. How exactly does one publish a document that the public cannot locate anywhere on the website? I wonder if the legislature talked about that. Anyways, hold on a minute though. Perhaps I overlooked something on the district's agendas and minutes page. And as I looked through everything, and I do mean everything available online, I couldn't help but note that not only was there no order, but the section currently posted online shows meeting materials from 23 through 26. Meanwhile, the helpful resources box on the right side of the page explains that older records are available through the Washington State Archives from 1995 to 2018, which leaves a small, almost trivial question, of course. Where exactly are the records from 2019 to 2022? Can you answer that one for us, Dee Dee Buckingham, HR Director of the Yelm School District and Public Records Officer? Yeah, I didn't think so. You know, those pesky 4 years sitting neatly between the archives and the current postings. Nothing to see here, literally. Washington courts made it clear in Progressive Animal Welfare Society versus the University of Washington that the Public Records Act must be interpreted broadly to ensure the public has meaningful access to the rules and operations of government. Apparently, the Yelm School District thinks broadly means nothing at all. Meaningful access, not theoretical access. Accessible records, not imaginary ones. So when Superintendent Woods assures the public that everything is properly posted online and the required materials simply are not there, it leaves one wondering whether anyone in the district administration has actually read the statute they are supposedly complying with. After all, the law requires only two things in this situation. Issue the order, publish the order. Issue, publish. Those, again, are two transitive verbs.
But here is the policy and procedures as to why.
Okay,
that
can I
should-
see the exemption then?
No, you can look right there and that'll explain.
The exemption is in here?
Explains why in there.
I just want to make sure the actual order is in here as required by statute.
Yeah, take a
Okay,
look.
and then also, are these the published procedures in accordance with Section 40?
That's our policy and procedures.
Okay, and it has everything that Section 40 requires?
Should be.
All right, and if it's not, then you will still have that?
Yeah, and I'll
Okay.
find that and I'll talk to our legal counsel.
Sure,
and we'll
sounds
get
good.
that- get
And then
that for you.
also, because I need to do a public records request, I need Debbie's last name and Lisa's last name so I can request that.
You can go ahead and put in the public records requests online. That'd be great.
Yeah, well, I'm going to submit it in person orally to you.
And what was your last name?
I'd rather not give that.
Okay. Well, go ahead and send us an email or write it down in
Are you
paper.
saying I can't give it orally and in person?
We'd like it in writing. That'd be great.
So you're saying
So it's accurate.
state statute doesn't allow me to do in person?
Sure it does, but I wouldn't want to transcribe that inaccurately.
Well, I mean, you're an educator. I would
let me get
imagine
you
you
a
could
piece-
probably write pretty well. I'm just going to, like I said, after I'm done
I'll
with
get you a piece
this,
of paper.
I'll give it over orally and in person. Hey, Lisa, could you go retrieve the superintendent again, please?
I can ask you, I think, do you have the prepared information that you needed?
I don't work at the pleasure of the superintendent. He works at the pleasure of the public.
Did you write down what you had asked?
No, I'm not a dog, ma'am.
Hi,
Hey.
I'm Dee Dee Buckingham. I'm the Director of HR.
You are. Hi.
Are you trying to make a public records request, is my understanding?
Well, I am, but before I
Okay.
get to that point, I'm trying to utilize the tools that are meant to aid me in making that public records request.
Okay.
Two of them, beginning with the procedures manual, which I was trying to show him what it is. My understanding is you're the public records officer.
I am,
Okay,
yes.
Great. So Section 40 talks about the published procedures. So I was coming in here to examine the prominently displayed. The statute says it has to be prominently displayed to the public.
And I believe Superintendent Woods has provided you with our policy, there's a paragraph in there that says that the board by formal resolution does not keep the index and what you're requesting to prominently see. We have a section in our board policy in there. It's here, I'll show it to you.
Additionally, the procedures manual, though, is a completely separate section. That has nothing to do with
I'll show you.
the index. So even with the index,
Yeah. Declared.
Yeah, if you look at subsection 4A of section 70 of the Public Records Act, it has to be published. And I mean, it has to be.
And I'm letting you know, we have a formal board resolution that they've accepted
Yeah,
under
the
our board
order-
policy
the
that we,
order has to be
that we do not have to do that.
Totally understand, but
So-
the order has to be published.
So I'm happy to fill this out for you if you're here for a public records request.
So I can't see the published order, I can only see the
We will fill
published.
out if you fill out a public records request, we can
So
go forward. So
I just
your
wanna
name
make
is
sure-
Steve?
I just want to make sure I'm understanding you as the public records officer here on video and audio recording.
Are you
Hold on, I
willing to provide an address?
I gotta finish talking
Unknown.
now.
Are you willing to
What I'm
provide
trying
a
to
phone number?
understand is
No,
where's the
we are filling
published-
out the
Ma'am,
form
no.
as the public records officer.
Ma'am, I have questions of the public records
This
officer
also
first.
says
Okay.
that if you read this, right, that yes, you can do this orally or you can fill out the form for
Correct.
public records.
Correct. I'm talking about the
But
procedures.
you cannot
manual.
disrupt the operations of our organization.
Ma'am, I'm not disrupting
You
anything.
you are disrupting it at
How
this
am I
time.
disrupting?
We are trying to take your information.
I have questions to ask, ma'am.
That
How
is correct.
That's
but
disrupting?
It is right now because you did not make an appointment to come in.
Oh,
And
to
we
make a
are
Public
trying
Records
to.
Act request, I have to make an appointment?
Nope, I'm filling it out right now.
So
So
what's
no
this
address,
disruption
no
thing you're
phone
talking
number.
about?
Do you have an email address
I
you'd
do,
like to
but I've got to
provide?
get clarification on something.
Okay, what's the description of your
I feel
public
like you're
records?
escalating. I'm going to ask you to please.
I'm not escalating. I'm asking the questions on the public records
Please
request.
de-escalate, okay? You're getting a little animated.
What
I'm gonna
is
step back
your
a little bit,
description?
okay?
What is your description?
Before I can provide the description, I need to get
Okay.
clarification about something.
So do you
So where can I
prefer
view
records
the
or would
prominently
you prefer
displayed
to
central
receive
and field
copies?
organization descriptions?
I'm asking you we are putting this in a public records
So I just want to make
request.
sure that the public records officer is saying something that
Yes.
has to be prominently displayed, I instead have to make a records request for
I
it?
am asking you to make a public records request.
For something that has to be prominently displayed?
I'm asking you to make a public records
For
request.
something that has to be prominently displayed?
Again, your address?
I can promise you, if the district walks away without providing the things that have to be prominently displayed, it's gonna lead to a tort.
We do not have to provide that to you at this time.
Absolutely you do. That's exactly what section 40 says.
What is your address?
I want to inspect
Unknown.
the published
Phone number?
procedures manual, ma'am. Okay?
Your email?
That's what I'm asking for. Can I see the prominently displayed
What's your
procedures?
description?
Look, I'll read it to you.
Okay.
Exactly what it says.
Well,
Okay?
I'll leave this here and.
So you're going to refuse to comply with
you
state
won't-
law?
No.
Is that what it is? You're refusing to comply with state law. Says each local agency shall prominently display and make available for inspection and copying. Wow. So the human resources manager there is refusing as well to comply with state law. So now we have the Superintendent Woods and Dee Dee, the HR director, refusing to comply with Washington State Public Records Law. Now, I'd like to submit this orally in person. I'd like to see the things I'm required, or I'm able, to see as a requirement that the district must publish and make available.
Okay, I think that they asked you specifically to write it down and make sure that they could get.
If they asked you to put up a sign that a black person couldn't come in here, would you do that too? Is that what you'd do, Lisa? Would you just follow the orders?
What they asked you to do was to write down the information
Gotcha.
so they could get it.
So you guys just do whatever illegal stuff you're told to do. Is that what I'm hearing? Wow.
Where's the button at? How's it going, boss? Good. I'm Officer Uncle's Yelm Police Department. How are you
you doing, man?
Hey, I'm on a video recording at the time.
I just so happen to be doing
I
the
figured
very
you were
thing.
flush. Is there anything I can assist you with?
Well, I don't want to assume you can't.
I appreciate
So, if you happen to be a magician, I'm looking for the records index and the published procedures manual for the school district.
Records Index, Public Procedures Manual.
Yeah.
Did I get that correct?
Yeah.
I apologize, I'm not a school resource officer.
Okay, that's
They
fine.
wouldn't enable me with any opportunity to give you the information that you've requested. They offered, in some capacity, some public disclosure requests. Did they, am I ringing a bell here?
Yeah, the thing that this is about, though, is I'm working on a story that some parents reached out to me about.
Okay.
And the issue is, and I can appreciate why this might be, they don't have what they're supposed to have. And at this point, because they're concealing it, That's one of those naughty felonies in Washington State. When you look at RCW 401610, you can't conceal a public record. It's a Class C felony.
You've got me exceptionally curious because I'm also interested in that RCW.
Yeah. So it's just their requirement to not mutilate, destroy, conceal certain records, right?
And in regards to being late to that, what is your timeline for and the immediacy at which you need that public record?
It's supposed to be immediately available. Okay. So when you look at RCW 425670, which is the public records, well, it has a couple of things in there too, but it's the records index statute. That requires them, if they exempt themselves, and it seems like they may have because they actually showed me a document that says in their procedure that they don't have one because it'd be unduly burdensome. That is a lawful option for them to express an exemption, but they have to do it through an order. And
at this point, you understand that to not be a thing here?
Well, and if it's not that, then they're violating the Public Records Act, which is the nature of the story. Okay. So if they don't have the if they don't have the records index, they have to issue and publish the exemption, which means it has to basically be available to the public.
Correct.
Now, it's not online, which would mean you would come to the central office to inspect the order. And this is my shocked face that
I couldn't tell. But
I know, it's clever that they don't actually have the issued and published order. Now, the deeper irony is that those two transitive verbs should be well understood by an educational district. Just kind of saying, I'm old, way older than all of you.
It's been a while since
and I still remember what transitive verbs were by golly gee willikers. Yeah. So I would like to see if I can see it. If they don't have it, they just need to admit it. But most people don't walk around and say, hey, I committed a crime, bro. Just let you know.
Fair enough.
Most people don't do that. I don't know. Maybe it's different in Yelm. Maybe they all walk up to you guys and let you know.
Well, in your some do. In your statute research, who's the enforcement body for a violation of that?
Well, I'd have to take it to civil court. It's a civil issue.
That's what I figured as much. So
now, if they're
as much as I'd love to be able to help you with that,
if they're concealing it, then you guys would enforce that.
That's what I'm curious about.
If you came to discover that they're actively concealing it, like if they have an issued and published order, if they have an order that's not issued and published, but it's back in Susie Q's desk or something.
Totally understood.
They're totally a felony. You can.
Is this something you can communicate with the Yelm Police Department, considering this is our school district and our jurisdiction, on an email basis, so I can actually do the research that you're requesting to see if a crime is afoot?
Well,
that's my job.
I mean, I'm happy to email you later. Yeah, I just, for purposes of the story, I just need to see if they have it. So, I mean, I get it. They don't want to admit to, not having a records index, which that part is just a civil issue.
Understood.
The other thing is, in accordance with Section 40, they're supposed to have the published procedures manual published. And it says each local agency shall publish and make available for inspection when you come into the central office.
Understood. I understand that they've offered you as
something
much as
that's
they have
not
immediate access to in reference to how they go about their normal practice for a public disclosure request.
Yeah.
If that is not satisfactory for you right now, aside from what I'm going to go relay to the superintendent, who's a close friend of mine, I can relay exactly what you're saying to me because he wants to help as much as I do. They're asking me what else I can do to enable you.
Well, I just need to,
before they ask you to leave.
Yeah, I just need to get a confirmation of that. And also, I would highly suggest that they not violate 28-635-20, the willful disobedience to leave. They haven't asked me to leave yet. Okay. But if they ask me to leave for an unlawful purpose, and the purposes are really clearly stated in Section 20 of 28A-635, that's going to be a real big problem. That's where you go and do the Seventh Amendment thing. Yeah. You go into court, there's all those lawsuits, it's ugly, lots of money changes hands, I buy an extra house, people are humiliated.
I understand.
Not a good thing.
I understand completely. Yeah. Aside from relaying those very lengthy verbs about what public disclosure requests, as well as manuals, as well as other notices that they have for that exemption you want posted, what can I do to help you with that?
I just need, this
you just want that confirmation they don't have that.
If they don't have it, that's all I need. All I need is the superintendent or HR director, assistant superintendent, whoever, just be like, yeah, we don't have an index, we don't have a issued and published order, no, we don't have a prominently displayed published
so there's no follow-up you want to do to make sure that we're in compliance. You're wanting to confirm with me, as well as superintendent, that they don't have it right now. That's your sole goal today.
Yeah.
You don't want to coordinate. You want to just display this and what you're
because I had parents reach out to me. It's what I work on as a journalist is the board of administrative law, public record stuff, all that. So.
Yeah, and I'm in a different wheelhouse in the criminal side of things, in which
Fair enough.
I'm here with the private property owner that's asking me to.
Yeah, and I want to make sure I'm not trying to portray myself as anything other than a journalist. Just really clear about that. I'm not any state actor or
Let me relay your
official.
sentiments, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Sounds good, man.
What was your first name?
Steve.
Steve. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, so you need confirmation of the policy that I gave you? Is that what you're asking for?
Well, to clarify, I'm just looking to see if you have the complete full procedures manual with everything that's listed in Section 40 of the Public Records Act. If you don't, it is what it is, right? That's just a civil issue. We can resolve that later. Now, if you have it and you're not prominently displaying it, now we get into Officer Runkle's possibly investigating a felony, because RCW 401610 says if you conceal a public record, that's a felony. Now,
Right.
you don't look like a felon, so I'm assuming you probably just don't have.
What does a felon look like?
Well, usually not someone who shows up to work in an outfit like yours that goes 8 to 5 most of the time. So,
I work a lot more than 8.
well, you probably do. Fair enough. You probably do. But
Try 6 to 6.
yeah, fair enough. I can appreciate that. Those are some long hours. So in that vein, if you don't have it, you don't have it. I mean, it just is what it is. But I had parents reach out to me because this is one of my main things I work on as a journalist is the Public Records Act, Open
Who are you a
Meetings
journalist
Act.
for?
Myself, I own my own company.
What company is that?
Yeah, I'll email you later. And I'll get into that while I'm out in the field. Just like Bob Ferguson probably doesn't like Fox News and things like that.
I'll call you independent.
Yeah, there we go.
There
Call
you
me
go.
independent. So in that vein, I just don't tell people when I'm out in the field because sometimes they won't talk to me or sometimes they'll be too...
But I'm not a felon, so...
I believe you. But what I'm saying is the district...
What YouTube channel?
Well, like I said, I don't get into any of that kind of stuff right now while I'm out in the field. But
Because I don't watch.
Yeah, I guarantee you if something comes out, I'll absolutely email you, no problem.
Has it been pretty good so far?
What?
The footage. I mean, you got good stuff so far?
Well, the good footage would be able to see the actual published procedures manual in the index.
Yeah, well, I gave you the policy and the procedures, and I think that's
Okay,
clearly explains what we need.
And
so
that's all that you have.
So I think we're done.
So you don't have any of the other stuff in Section 40. Is that fair to say?
I got nothing else on me.
Okay, fair enough. So out of compliance on that. And then the index, where's the issued and published order? So I'm sure as a scholar yourself, you recognize those two transitive verbs well, and so issued and published would of course mean that it's out there, available to see, and you've put it out.
What'd you
What
do with
is
the
it?
policy and procedures I gave you?
I think Dee Dee took that. It might still be over there. However, I want to be clear, that's a policy, not an order. So an order in administrative law is a legal instrument. It's not a policy.
This is a legal instrument.
That is not. I don't know who your lawyer is. Maybe they graduated from
Our
Seattle
policy and
U.
procedures follow state law. So would you like this?
Who's your attorney?
Would you like this?
No, I already looked at it.
Okay.
It's not in compliance with state law. That's not an order. That's a policy.
Okay. Well, thank you for
Who's
coming
the
by. I
district's
appreciate
attorney?
you being here. And I'm happy to take a statement if you wanted to do a public record, which
Sure.
you originally indicated you did.
Yeah, but now that you're out of compliance, I
Dee
don't
Dee and myself offered to handwrite it for you
Sure.
because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
wanted
totally.
to give it verbally.
totally recognize
correct?
that. Yep, that's
Correct?
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
All right.
So who's the
Have a
district's
great day.
attorney? Do you
Have a great day.
Can you say who your counsel is? You guys have a good day. Be safe. Take care. Thank you. All right, thanks. All right, so really great police officers here in Yelm. Really professional, really nice. Those leads are confirmed, though. The school district is definitely out of compliance with the Public Records Act. They did not have the published procedures manual in accordance with state law. They did not have the public records index in accordance with state law. So these issues are definitely a problem. But with that being said, I'm going to head out. So if you like my journalism, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that all notifications bell so you can get my stories right when they're released. You can follow me on X and I am Free Auditing on Facebook at Inland Auditing Media. And if you want to help keep my feet on the streets, you guys know what to do. You can go to the links in the description for Cash App and Venmo. Thanks for watching here in Yelm, Washington, in Thurston County. Have a great day. Thanks for supporting my journalism, and I'll see you guys at the next location. Bye for now. Okay, who do you think I am?
Thank you for everything that you do.
You're so welcome.
You are amazing.
You're so welcome.
Yes,
You have a good day. Got a subscriber right there, so that's very cool. Have a good day. That's great. That's so cool. So out here in Yelm, and that lady in that Suburban right there is saying she knows who I am, and I was like, well, I don't know. Who do you think I am? She goes, Inland Auditing Media, and I'm like, well, look at that. What a smile, too. What a smile. All right, so I'm going to shut this back off again. I just ran across the nice lady and had to get her on there.